A very good morning to my fellow friends and Professor Palsan. Today I'm going to present about the making of compost pile. First of all, I'm going to start with the introduction part. The composting is defined as the controlled biological decomposition of organic material. Compost is an organic material that has been decomposed and recycled as fertilizer and also soil adamant. There are 5 important parameters in composting. First of all, carbon and nitrogen ratio. It should be in 30:1 ratio, and the next is the ideal moisture. It should be in between 50 to 60%. Next is the pH. It should be in 6 to 8. Next is temperature. Temperature for thermophile range is 55 to 75 degrees Celsius. At last, oxygen availability, it should be in between 5 to 15%. Next is about the objective of this presentation, which is guiding us to make the own compost pile with the correct ratio. Next is about to identify the functions of the compost pile composition. At last, to identify the composition's classification. Next, have a look on the video that provided the information about material used and the method used for this compost pile. Making the compost, first we have to calculate the CN ratio of the compost. The CN ratio should be in between 25 to 30:1 ratio. For this compost, it is in 28.95:1 ratio. It is a optimal ratio for the compost. The end product smells earthy, have a moist texture, and it's also in a brown color, and it have a presence of warmth. But due to the absence of some equipments like weighing balance, it produces partially compost pot because the brown material doesn't compost well. How does a compost works? A compost works when aerobic decomposition process take place in the presence of oxygen and will produce the heat. Decomposition process will speed up with the produced heat, and the pathogens will kill by the produced heat. Next is about the function and the classifications of the compositions of composite. Brown material that uses in this composite is sawdust, dry garden waste, and newspaper. and the green material that have used in this compost, vegetable waste, fruit waste, and also coffee ground. All the functions of the material were stated in the video. At the end of the section, I have learned that how to make the composite with a correct ratio, and also learned about the functions of the composition of compost I have made. At last, I have learned about the classifications of the material that I have used, which is brown and green.